Hey. Hey, how's it going, Thomas? Good evening, bud. Trying to get the chat to pop out so I can actually read it a little better. How's your night, Thomas? Rock in the house. What's up, Rock? Yeah, it's a good looking moon tonight. We're looking through a 11-inch Schmidt Cassegrain telescope. Matt is in the chat. What up, buddy? How about that? Like it, man. How's your night, Matt? Gonna have a fun night tonight. We're gonna start out the moon. We're gonna do probably an hour or so of the moon, and then tonight we'll be jumping on Saturn. So it's gonna be kind of a fun night. Be an adventurous night for sure. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Make sure I got everything else I needed here. Ron, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Ron? How's your night? Is the audio okay? I was going to set up multiple telescopes for tonight, but one of my mounts was giving me a little bit of an issue, so I gave up on it. Let me move that telescope over a bit. This is going to be the 11-inch telescope that we're currently looking through. Is it cutting in and out? No! Why is it doing that? It was doing that to me earlier, too. It's been one of those nights where everything seems to be kind of wild, per se. Look at the moon 3 years ago. She is so beautiful. It's so true. Amazing. Am I still cutting in and out? What the heck? Let me make sure everything's plugged in properly here. How about now? Still cutting in and out? Hey, Mo. What's up, Mo? How are you doing? How's your night? Okay. Still cutting in and out? Or is it running okay? Like on my side, it sounds okay. I don't hear any issues on my side. Hello from Colorado. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Is it super choppy? Dang, I don't hear it on my side. Sounds fine to you, Jojo? I tried to even pull it up on my phone, put my phone near my ear. See how it sounds on there. Good now? Oh, okay. I got no clue. Wow. Oh, no way, Mo. Getting ready for the ISS to pass over? Yeah, it's like 7... What time was the passover? 7:25 or so? Let me get it real quick. It's going to be a bit south of the moon from my location. Yeah, comes up about 7:51. So it's the maximum altitude is about 7:56 tonight. So if y'all want to see the ISS flyby here in the United States, especially if you're on the eastern side of the United States, then check out south. Be really cool. We'll come back and see if that helps. I got you. Hey, what up, David? How's it going? Bat Shy, welcome back. How are you? You think the sound is fine? Good. Awesome. The moon is gorgeous. This is true. 7:02 here. 7:02 p.m. here in Kansas City, Missouri, by the way. So much better. Okay, good. Awesome. All right, let me take the headset off again. Since you guys said the audio is better, I don't have to try to listen to myself as I'm talking. But there we are. Looks beautiful. The moon is gorgeous. It's truly gorgeous. It's already 1 for you. 1 a.m. for you, John. That's crazy. Where are you located at? Heard of a blue light that appears sometimes? There's an area inside of one of the impact craters that has some kind of like static electrical charge. I'm assuming that's what you're speaking of. Be my guess what you're speaking of. In the UK, I got you. Got Albuquerque, New Mexico in the house as well. Welcome in. It is the moon. Beautiful moon. How you doing, Christian? Good evening to you. Was hoping to get out tonight, but the clouds moved in and can't see anything. Come on, David. We got to get rid of those clouds, dude. Those clouds are the worst. They are definitely the worst. Shining bright outside here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. That's amazing. That's super awesome. Got Bronx as well in the house. So I'm deserve of Ceres. No, but we can capture Ceres tonight. We'll be able to capture Ceres tonight. We're going to do about an hour or so of the moon. And then tonight's going to be a little bit about Saturn. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Why does it look shaky, the atmosphere? All the heat coming off the top of the observatory right now because we just got out of daylight. So the heat's coming up right in front of the telescope, and it's so low in the atmosphere, the moon is. Top your loin, boy, says James. Okay, cool story. Got Kentucky, nice. Glad to have you in, buddy. Got Australia as well. What's up, Kay? Wells Park in the house. What's up, Frankie? Went to the moon. We never come down. I guess. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sky's clear. That's awesome. Why is it dark yellow? It's still daylight for me. It's going to start getting darker out, so we'll have to adjust the brightness as the night goes, though. It is still daylight here in Kansas City. I'll see if I can bring in a little bit more light. Ain't that really crazy? Aristicus crater we don't see right now. It's not in the view currently. New Hampshire here. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Is the moon just a big balloon? No. It's a natural satellite for our planet. It was most likely formed from an impact called Theia. Go Chiefs, that's right. Red Kingdom. 100%. What's up, Olive? How's it going, buddy? How was your night, bud? It's a good look tonight, though. No, it's DR who showed it's actually an egg. Thank you, Marcy. Honestly, thank you. It is gorgeous. We have such a beautiful moon. If the Earth is spinning, why isn't the moon moving per se? My telescope mount actually tracks these objects through the sky. So if you go out there with a telescope, like a manual telescope, not a go-to mount that tracks stuff, if you go out there with one of those, you'll see how quick it actually moves on you. This is a live view, yeah. We're looking at the moon live right now. This is a view from Kansas City, Missouri. It looked like a bird just went kind of like in between us and the moon. Every now and then you'll see that tonight. There's a lot of birds flying around, so you'll get to see quite a bit of them. Really awesome night, though. Again, we're going to start out with the moon. We're going to do about an hour or so, and then tonight we're going to jump over and do some amazing views of Saturn. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be really awesome. Alright, let's see if I can get my chat to update. It's not updating on my side for some reason. Update. There we go. Thank you, Isabella. I appreciate it. Are you able to zoom in more? We will. We'll definitely do a little bit of zooming in. When we zoom in, everybody's going to say, can we zoom back out? It's kind of fun. Is this computer image? Nope, this is a live view of the moon. Here, let me shake the telescope for you. There you go. Daytime video of an asteroid hitting the moon was great. Oh, that's crazy, yeah. That was absolutely crazy. When did you first get into Planet's telescope? I got my first telescope when we were 8 years old. The family did, I should say. Dad bought the first telescope, and that kind of kicked it in for sure. He didn't put mustard on his. Okay, cool story. Oh my goodness. Do you think the moon is hollow? We know the moon's not hollow. We actually know that it has a small iron core, maybe a little bit of nickel as well. Nickel and mercury. Do you believe there's some kind of life on other distant planets or near? Possible. Very probable. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jer, what's up, brother? What state? Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. July 20th, 1969. Never forget the historic day. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to trigger a bunch of flat earthers, though. Jason trying to trigger people. Can you find the flag? Not with my setup. You gotta have something really big to capture something that small. To put it in perspective, there's no telescope on Earth that's going to see it. Why did the moon ring like a bell? Because of the when you talk about the seismic wave, and you didn't hear, by the way, that's a visual through the seismometer. But it don't have a lot of water like what we have here on Earth. So you don't have that baffling effect, a lot like what we have here when we get earthquakes, for example, right? It baffles down a lot of that vibration, and we don't have that on the moon. I'm going to start studying the moon for the next couple of weeks until light from it goes down. Nice, dude. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool, David. Really smart. Next year we go back. We do. Artemis 2, well, it'll take us around the moon. We're not going to land on the moon for Artemis 2, but Artemis 3 will land on the moon. So we go back to the moon. We're going to go the furthest distant that mankind's ever gone before, and they're going to come back. So that's really awesome. See if I get everything up there. Western North Carolina. Hey, welcome in. What up, Frost? All is well. How's your night? How's your night? You got Davids in the house as well. Good evening, buddy. What is up? How's it going for you? What year are they on about landing? Man, I'm going to guess around 2029, but it's not, that's way too speculative still. It's hard to, like, obviously I'm not a mind reader, but I think the goal is like 2029 for landing on the moon. If they do, it may be 2030, maybe 2031. We'll see how it goes. As the moon rusts, and there's very little rust that's observed on the moon. Very little. Missed your stream last night, but overall doing well. I wasn't able to stream last night. We had a lot of clouds come through. So there was no stream last night. Didn't get to miss out on anything. Last night we got to take a little bit of break, and what I did was set up a ventilation exhaust here inside the control room, so we don't have a lot of issues with Saturn at night with all that heat coming out the door. Hopefully soon. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Didn't miss anything. No. Can you show it? What's that? The rust? No, we don't see the rust from here on Earth. Will SpaceX go to the moon first or India? India have already been to the moon. India's already made it. Got a great view of Jupiter this morning. No way, SkyTech. That's awesome, buddy. That's super awesome. That is super awesome. Just floating outer space and amazing. Some people don't believe it was all of them. Like, was a big bang. God spoke. Let there be light, and bang it was. Nice. The blood moon. The next blood moon that we get is going to be in March 13th of next year here in the United States. North America will get our next blood moon on March 13th. Dark side, great place to develop pictures. Now, there's no true dark side of the moon. We call it the far side. I know what you're referencing, obviously, but it's the far side of the moon, which also receives sunlight. At all times, 50% of the moon's illuminated, and 50% is not illuminated. You got the night phase and the day phase of the moon. Humans aren't going back, though. That's true. How do they get past the Van Allen belt? They fly through it really quick. It's called science. Make things a lot cooler for you. Yeah, it actually feels a lot better in here. Honestly, I came in today, and usually it's about 100 degrees in here with all the computer systems running. And I walked in, and I was like, wow, that's a much better scenario. It wasn't bad at all. It was super beautiful in here when I walked in. The dark spots of the moon solidified. That's going to be bosnic lava or solidified lava. These are old ancient lava beds on the moon, and they're named they're named the seas, the bays, and the ocean. One ocean on the moon, but solidified lava. Can we see something else? Right now we're going to hang out with the moon. Later tonight we're going to do Saturn, though. Saturn's going to be the target that we go to next, but for now we're going to hang out with the moon. We're really set up really good for the moon, and it's still a little daylight out. It's actually kind of bright out for us. Because of radio blackout, there's a term of dark side for the radio blackout, and of course dark side's also about a song and so on. But it's kind of touchy. We call it the far side, though. We call it the far side of the moon. And I know some people reference this as the dark side being the radio blackout area, but a lot of people like to call the dark side because they think there's no light on the far side. Some people reference it dark side because it's not visible to us here on Earth. So it gets kind of wild. What kind of science you get through the Van Allen belt? Measurements, man. You got to be able to measure something, know how fast you got to go through it, and what to actually have around the craft and in your gear to go through it. There's not that much radiation in it, though. Not like when you consider if you were to stand next to the microwave too long. Obviously, you get a lot of radiation there, too. Can you go look at Atlas? So I cannot. Still daytime. Still daylight. Which means, return humans to the moon. Starts their preparation for, a crewed Mars mission. Absolutely. Why do we always see the same side of the moon? Crazy. There's no variation. Well, we see a little bit more than just the same side. We see about 59% of the moon because of a process called libration, or like a wobble effect, right? But it is tidally locked to us. It is tidally locked to us. Can you go look at Atlas? We cannot. One, it's still daytime. Two, it's I'm going to be setting right after the sun does. What do you think Atlas is? A interstellar comet. It's definitely interstellar and most likely a comet. That'd be the best way to go with it. We'll know for sure. Probably sometime next year there'll be a lot better. Go through all the data, right, and do a lot of analyzing, and then determine exactly what we're looking at. Was that a cloud just went through? It kind of looked like it. So I'll pull down just a bit here. Looked like a cloud just went through our view, like a really thin cloud. Trying to pull it over just a bit on the telescope. There we go. What up? How's it going, Eisen? How's your night? Has been testing a lot. Traffic is always crazy trying to get in and out of town when he doesn't. That's so funny. That's really funny. Always fascinate you. More than the sun does. Yeah, the sun gets me red. Right now I'm using the C11 telescope. This is a large 11-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain style telescope. Got 15 minutes of solid imaging last night on it here in Texas. That's amazing, buddy. Yeah, R2 Swan would be a good one for sure. So I'm setting an observatory, and then our horizon obviously is very hard for me to do, so I have to get outside the observatory, take equipment out to capture a lot. We have been capturing A6 Lemon in the morning hours, and it is crazy bright. It's getting there fast. It's really crazy bright. I would be excited to capture Swan for sure. From Seattle. Hey, nice. Welcome in. Welcome in, Charles. How's your day? Got Queensland, Australia as well. Glad to have y'all. Glad to have y'all for sure. Claims about Atlas. Dude, I don't even know who that is. I don't worry about claims about Atlas because it's called clickbait. It's all about trying to get you to watch something so they make money, right? I don't worry about claims about it. Yeah, the limit is massive and the tail's so crazy long. Yeah, it's gorgeous in the morning. The Grays are from the moon. They say, what's that? I must have missed something. Brownsville, Texas. Huh? Glad to have you in, Johnny, for sure. That plaque signed by Armstrong, Collins, and Nixon on the moon. Yeah, that's crazy cool, huh? Hi from New York. Hey, welcome in. How are you doing? You got Michigan as well, waking up and coming in. Welcome in, by the way. Glad to have y'all here. Yeah, Optimate by AI Farms. Yeah, 100%. What's up, Desi? How's it going? How's your night? Harvard Astrophysics. Oh, I got you. Some of those guys get pretty wild over there. But yeah, that's the same group probably that went chasing the UFO in the ocean, right? To find out that it was a rock. Rio Grande City, Texas. What's up? How's it going? Welcome in. Thanks, Frosty. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. Not bad. Just watching Hell's Kitchen. Oh, no way. Not playing any Catan yet? I told Donnie that we played a lot of Catan last night. I told him that I won 4 times, though. Good day from Mars. What's up, Martha? Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Always trips me out how our moon and Titan act the same. It's Tally-locked, yeah, facing the planet. There's a lot of Tally-locked moons for sure. Lies, all lies. I actually told him that you beat me 3 times and only won once. I did. Brent from Florida. Hey, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? What are we looking out for, my man? The moon. We're hanging out the moon, just enjoying our pet rock. Jack, welcome in. Last time I saw the moon in Indonesia, it was yellow. Oh, that's crazy cool. It's going to pass close to Mars. Any plans for observation? There's a lot of observations going on from the equipment on Mars, if that's what you're meaning. It's still really, really, really faint, though. 3i still really faint, still really far away. It is a little early live today. We got the moon tonight. We're going to do this for about roughly an hour. The ISS is going to pass through, but it's going to be a bit too far south for us to probably be able to view it. But the ISS will pass through today. It would be really cool to capture. It's just a little too far south to be able to view it. And then tonight we're going to go for Saturn. That is the game plan. SpaceX, you should do some SpaceX Starship videos or something. Stream while they're taking up. Nah. Like, I think they got their own videos. They do an amazing job. I'm not here to build cloud off of other people's work. I'm here to do my job, to do astronomy outreach for sure. You had Aurora Borealis last night there in Virginia. I know. And I was so angry. We had clouds all night. I couldn't get any good views at all. You love those Saturn's rings? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Is this your telescope? It is, yep. This is our beautiful C11 telescope we're using right now. Get Jenny and Chance to play with us? Yeah. Shine bright like a star? Not even. Oh, no way. That's crazy cool. Yep, it's going to be dismantled here soon. It's going to be dismantled here soon. Miss Luna is coming in really good. It is. It's actually stunning right now. Really beautiful view, for sure. It's coming in gorgeously. You can see Tycho impact crater right there on the very bottom side. Ain't that a beautiful view of it? Can you guys see that really deep impact crater on the bottom side, almost right above where the chat is? That's going to be Tycho impact crater. Then you see the one on the left side, in the dark area. It's kind of harder to see. It's a little bit darker, but that's going to be Copernicus crater. Such an amazing shot. Yeah, dude. Zoom into the surface, please. We will. Oh yeah, for sure. We'll definitely will. Let's take a trip. Yeah, let's do it. Love those ice and dust floating around the planet. Oh yeah, talking about Saturn there. Ventilation is helping it come in better. I think so. Honestly, I think so. When I walked in here today, it wasn't over 100 degrees like usual. So I think so. Can you guys hear it running in the background? It's a little louder than I thought it would be, though. What's my favorite planet? Our planet. By far, our planet. What kind of calculations? Calculation to pass the Van Bellen. Dude, you'd have to go look at rocket science, man. We're enjoying the moon. Like, these are things that you can actually go do a little bit of your own research on. Enjoy the topic of what we're doing, for sure. Kansas City, Westport. No way, dude. We're just outside of Kansas City. Looks like a face on the moon. Yeah, the man on the moon. Have you tried ramping your zoom up into the moon? I get lost just wandering around the surface. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can't hear? Okay, good. So it's not as loud as I was thinking maybe it'd come through. All right, let's find an area of interest, actually. Zoom into where you guys want to go. Maybe like this kind of zoom. Should be all right. See if we can zoom in a little bit here. Zoomy, zoomy. Zoomy, zoomy. Okay. Let me grab the telescope controls here. We're going to move over towards like Tycho. Let me slow down the controls though, because that was a little fast. Move the pad over here. There we go. We should be able to move it easier. Oh, now we got to go faster though. Need a little faster. There we go. Yeah, that's what we want. There's going to be a Tycho impact crater. You see the lines coming out right here. That's going to be the ejecta from Tycho. We'll bring Tycho up into the view here. There's going to be Tycho down there. That beautiful impact crater with that central peak that's right in the center of it. Yeah, it's a wonderful telescope for sure. Yo, what up, Alti? How's it going? How's your night? How's your night? We can only zoom in so far on the digital image. Yep. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. How's it dark? It's not. I got the exposure turned down right now. It's still, well, it's starting to get dark out. It's only 7:21, so it's definitely not dark, but we still have, let's see if I can even make out much of the blue sky. It's starting to get dark though. I can't make out too much of the blue sky out there. It's starting to get dark. Yeah, the moon's been beat like crazy. Yeah, 100%. It really has been. It really has been. There's a lot going on in the moon for sure. Zooming to galaxies? Not right now. It's still kind of daylight out. We're still in the twilight period. You guys want to check out the area where the Apollo 11 mission landed. If you guys look at this dark mass right here in the center, near the bottom, there's what looks like a backwards L or like a boot that comes down. Right where that comes down out of the Tranquility, of the Sea of Tranquility here, that larger dark mass, there's like a fairly bright impact right next to where that boot comes down on the left side. And right above that, just a little to the left, where the Apollo 11 landing site was. Earth BPS. Oh my goodness. There's actually something written on the moon. Can you see it? And there's things that almost look written. Are you talking about the actual writings on the moon? Which one? Can you please zoom into galaxies? Yeah, not right now though. Still twilight. Point your favorite spot on the moon? Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite areas for sure is going to be Tycho crater, which we looked at just a minute ago. But let's see here. Let's go to the Sea of Crisis. This is the Sea of Crisis right here. That dark mass kind of all by itself. That's a Sea of Crisis. This to me is probably one of the most beautiful areas for sure. It's one of the most beautiful areas for sure. 17. Let's see if I can control everything here. Let's see, here's 11. Right out here is going to be 16. 14 and 12 is going to be over by, let's see. This is going to be, here's 15. So 17 would be, move faster. 17 would be down here. See if we can in the area. We can move it the right way. Thanks, appreciate that. What's the bright light? That's just young impact crater. Younger impact crater coming in really bright right now. It says we have been trying to reach you about your car's exterior. Oh, Wendy, dude, that's nice. That's so funny. Initials or name, I believe. Oh, no way, dude. That's really crazy. I got that one already. Not 13, no. Can you point at Neptune? We can, but we'll be doing Saturn and Neptune tonight. Right now we're going to be hanging out the mirror, or with the mirror. I'm reading the next line. We're hanging out with the moon. Where's the mirror from the Apollo 11 crew landing? So it's going to be in the Sea of Tranquility area, right here. That's going to be roughly in that dark mass right here. It looks like trails or pathways. It kind of does. That's the ejecta. That's ejecta that gets blown out during impacts. Can you see planets? We will tonight. We're going to be doing Saturn after this. We're going to spend a while with the moon, probably about an hour with the moon tonight. And then we're going to do Saturn later on this evening. No, they're not roads. These are called ejecta. I just gave you the answer to it. It's ejecta. It is ejecta. Debris is blown out during impacts. This is C11 right now. Running the beautiful C11 telescope. Let me see if I can bring us in a little bit more light now. Now that it's getting darker out, we'll be able to get some more light to come through here. Make out a little bit more details. There we go. Look at the amount of massive impacts here. So much going on in this region, especially when you get down here by Tycho. The south. This is going to be looking towards the south pole of the moon. What's the biggest crater called? Aitken Basin. Many miles long. Yeah. The ejecta from this impact right there, Tycho, is roughly about 1,600 miles long. That's really long. Hey, what's up, Hugh? Hugh from Canada. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's your night? Is that a moon or a piece of cheese? Hey, what's up, Big Oldsworth? How you doing, bud? Are there any other moons? Whoa! We just got hit by wind. Oh my goodness, that wind actually hit. Kind of worried me there for a minute. Yeah, 1,600 miles is insane for sure. It is insane. Yeah, what a beautiful view of our moon, though. We got a gorgeous moon. Ain't no doubt about that. Y'all ready for the full moon on the 6th? Gonna have the beautiful full moon on the 6th. And a supermoon. There'll be a supermoon this month. You like looking at certain stars more than others? No, I mean, some variable stars are definitely gorgeous. Here's some of the mountains on the moon. This is actually right about in the center. Is going to be Mount Huygens. It's on the lower side here. Mount Huygens is the tallest moon on the, tallest mountain on the moon. Just insane in general as well. Like, gotcha. I was looking at Tycho a few nights ago on binoculars. Great view. Yeah, I love Tycho. Tycho's super beautiful. The belly button of the moon, right? The belly button of the moon. Yeah, it's a gorgeous impact crater, though. For real. Sounds good, Jer. Sounds good, brother. Sounds good, man. All right, let's zoom back out real quick. Let's get our whole view here. Oh, I don't want to zoom in. I guess we're going to zoom in first, and then we'll have to zoom out. We're going to zoom in, then now we'll be able to zoom out. Get a little bit larger view. All right, thanks, Jer. Appreciate you, brother. Dude, thank you so much, man. Okay, let's get it lined back up here. Check out the moon, and it's a little bit more the whole view that we can see through the telescope here. It's about the same height of Everest. I think it was 17,000 and 17,000 some odd feet. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how tall it is, but it's big though. It's really big. We move it over just a bit more here, and there it is, our gorgeous moon tonight. Near the South Pole, they put, they're trying to build a new type of base for refuel. I wouldn't say for refueling and trying to build a type of base, but there is a lot of landing sites there from recent missions from other countries. Obviously, there's a lot to learn down there. There's a lot of ice, water ice that's found inside of some of the deep impact craters near the South Pole, which would be interesting for, just for expanding and getting to Mars, right? There's definitely a lot of different things there. Checked out Alberio last night. Oh, no way. Pretty cool with a star contrast. That's really awesome. That's super cool. 5:26 now in Los Angeles. Nice. Welcome in, by the way. Glad to have you. That's a postcard view. Yeah, it's gorgeous. That's a really beautiful way of actually enjoying the moon. Rabbit in the moon? You see the rabbit in the moon? I always see the man on the moon. I don't see the rabbit very well. I always see the man on the moon. Inglewood, California. Hey, welcome in. Oh yeah, you've been here for a minute there. Do you ever see something moving on the moon? No, it'd have to be super massive. And so if you ever watch a video and they say they see something coming out of the moon or something like that, they put it in perspective to see something like that's going to have to be like 20 miles wide. So you know really quick that it's a fake video. Is that real? It is. Yeah, this is a live view of our moon. How long would it take to get to the moon by rocket? Do you just want to get there, or do you want to land there? That's going to be the big question. If you want to get there and go past it, about 12 hours. If you want to land there, about 3 days. To terraform another planet on our moon, might as well use the manpower and R&D to figure out why to clean out our planet. I mean, obviously that's there too, right? That's like, you got both things going on though, for sure. You got people are going to study, and kind of put in perspective, you got people study the forest and you got people study the ocean. That'd be like saying everybody should study the forest rather than ever studying the ocean, right? So you got people in different areas doing different things. I've heard that near some landing sites they have left some equipment that is still being used somewhat. The retroreflective mirrors are no longer in use, though you could. Like if you personally want to use them and bounce a laser off them to receive that signal, you could. They're not really used in science anymore though. Do a live in the morning, can you look at the sun? I did last week a few times. Are you filming with a telescope? Yep, that is exactly what we're doing. The Celestial 130 EQ I was buying on Marketplace appear to have broken, cracked mount. Ooh. So I'm considering the Celestron 25x magnification binoculars instead of the telescope. Yeah or nay? Dang, man. So what part of the mount's broken? Do you know what part of the mount's broken? What are the brighter spots on the moon? Younger impact craters. There's going to be younger impact craters where like the soil gets unearthed or unmooned. I guess if you were to go with that terminology, or gets pulled out from the crust, and it seems a lot brighter for us for sure. It just hasn't had a lot of time for the radiation from the solar, from our sun to start to dim it down per se. Chili Billy, what's up, buddy? I see you tonight, man. How's your night going? A little bit left, and then you got a little bit more left. Yeah, we can do that. Let me pull it over a little more. There we go. Radiation on the moon or magnetic poles of any kind. Not magnetic poles, but there's some magnetized dust, as you could say. That's going to be because of the solar winds. But there's a lot of radiation on the moon. Get the 3 stars and the moon last week. The 3 stars and the moon last week. Oh, you mean like Jupiter and Venus and the moon? Is that what you actually mean or no? Montana G, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. What's up, Ratchet? How's it going, buddy? Thanks, Chili Billy. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, bud. All right, let me make sure. We're gonna be live with the moon for here for a little bit longer tonight, and then later tonight, probably around 10 p.m. or so, Central Time, we're gonna be going towards the Saturn, beautiful planet Saturn. Kenny James, yo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love and support, of course, of what we do here. Truly appreciate you. But from Cali, all right, Jason, have a good day, man. End up with the Yankees Red Sox game. Tied at 3 and 8th inning. I got you. Is the Andromeda Galaxy going to be bigger in the sky? Not really. Honestly, no. I know that people put that out there. No. It's just going to be in a much better area to be able to view, obviously, for most people, because it's going to be so high in the sky. We look at it, it's going to be exactly the same. You wouldn't see any difference. It's a little bit easier to see with the naked eye, though, in dark skies, just because of its location in the night tonight. What up, Will? How you doing, bud? Welcome in. We're over here by Kansas City, Earth. Beat Bloop said he thinks his brain is missing or something like that. Then your comment got just like tossed out too quick. I'm sorry, dude. Hopefully you're able to find your brain soon. I hope so. I hope so. What up, Bradley? Guess who's back? Back again. Bradley's back. Y'all better tell a friend. Is that what it was? Gonna go look for myself. Oh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I use Streamlabs. Yeah. Has always, there has always been flat. Your brain's always been flatlined. I got you. It makes sense. It happens. So like when you wake up in the morning, start running, and you run into the side of the door, it'll do that to you. It really will. Try to open up the door a little bit more before you walk through it. Might help a little bit. Is the moon going to be super bright tomorrow? It's going to be really bright for us. It's actually going to get bright as we go towards the full moon. This is going to be a super moon this month. Hey, Soul, what's up, brother? Yeah, I'm a little bit earlier tonight. How's your night? I was a bit disappointed last night that the storm wasn't visible on Jupiter, but it's seen the cloud. Ah, dude, no way. You got to check out Jupiter last night. I got you. Brock, tell us something about what we were seeing, that the average eye observer Wouldn't know. Oh, that's a good one, Brooke. Or Brock, sorry. And thank you so much for the $5. So there's a lot of cool stuff when we talk about the moon. I think some of them, let's go down a few rabbit holes real quick. Some people don't realize that our moon actually rotates, and it does rotate. It rotates as it orbits around Earth. What process we would call the synchronization rotation, because it is tidally locked to us. So it does make one rotation roughly every 27.3 days. Some of the other cool things, the moon itself is leaving us at about 1.437 inches per year. That's interesting from scientific perspective. The random human, the rock. Yeah, to people who don't care to look up in the sky, it's literally nothing. Yeah, 100% for real. Are we on the moon? We're looking at the moon through a telescope. Make sure I get, and of course I answer a lot of questions that come through, so we'll get a lot of random facts to come out. Never knows how unique the moon terrain looks. Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? How long has it taken you to get the 6.5 thousand subs? About a month. I've only been streaming here on YouTube for, I don't know, about 3 weeks roughly. And some other cool stuff about the moon I guess we can actually hit real quick is the moon itself has a tidal bulge that actually points towards us. There's a little bit of the land is being pulled up, kind of like how the moon pulls up on our ocean. Even some of the land where we walk here on Earth may actually get raised up even 3 to 5 feet. We're not 100% sure exactly how much, but the moon may actually give us a little bit of tide even when in the crust of Earth. Hey, blue flash on the moon yet? No. Make sure I get the rest of it. How long is it taking you to get the... oh, okay. I already got that one. So if the moon is rotating, then there is no permanent dark side of the moon. That's correct. The moon does not have a dark side of the moon itself does not have a dark side. We call that the far side of the moon. At all times, 50% of the moon is illuminated, and right now we see about 62%, so there's about 30% left on the far side of the moon that's illuminated. Totally deserved. I appreciate it, man. Something else interesting about our moon is that it's one of the largest moons. Yeah, it's definitely the largest moon to the body that it orbits, but it comes in number 5. When we talk about our solar system, our moon comes in number 5, and there's over 1,000 out there. First one being obviously Ganymede, second one being a well-known moon as well, Titan. Can you shine a laser pointer on the moon? You could. There's actually retroreflective mirrors on the moon that if you have a big enough laser, you'd be able to hit it and bounce the laser back, and you can determine the distance of the moon. Further away from Earth, what different effects would we have? It depends. It gets a little bit further away, but eventually, let's say it was completely away from us and it didn't have much tidal effect to us, our wobble would be really insane. We talk about the wobble of Earth itself. Our seasons would go insane. Our oceans would have waves that you just couldn't even understand. Whether people would be here or not, that's a different story, right? Like, obviously you don't know how people would adapt to this, but it would affect a lot of stuff. How wildlife would work, how the ocean itself would work. It'd just be really crazy how the seasons would work. There'd be a lot going on for sure. Was it widely accepted that that the moon does not rotate? I'm not too sure. I'm honestly not too sure. I think it's because people don't realize, like, we always look at the same side of the moon, and I think people don't realize it still has to orbit around us, so it's always spinning on its axis. It's a synchronization rotation. So that's a tough one. The moon is not hollow. It actually has an iron core. Even the human eye can detect a single photon in complete darkness. Yeah, I've heard of stories where the moon arrived. Yeah, some people try to use those. What are you using to see this? C11 telescope. Moon rotation is equal to its orbit, not our orbit, but to its orbit around the Earth. Yeah, that is correct. The moon is Earth's natural satellite. That is true. We do have some quasi-moons, so we have 7 quasi-moons right now. The quasi-moons are small captured asteroids that are just temporarily. Your coworker just said the moon doesn't rotate like 20 minutes ago. I know, a lot of people say that, man. That's pretty fun to get into those concepts. What was Pink Floyd talking about, the dark side of the moon? There's a lot of stuff about dark side of the moon back in the past because they just didn't have a full understanding of what's going on there. But the dark side of the moon can also be in reference to several different things. One, communication. It'd be dark on that side of the moon for people that, let's say when the Apollo missions went around, you weren't able to communicate with them when they're on the far side of the moon because the moon blocked that communication. So there's that dark side of the moon. There's the dark side of the moon is, and we don't see the far side of the moon. So there's different things what dark side of the moon can actually mean. Drink over the Saturn a week ago or so. Thanks for that, dude. That's awesome, Jordan. No way, dude. That's super awesome. That's super awesome. We'll be back with Saturn tonight, though. Any seismic activity? The moon has moonquakes. It don't have earthquakes, obviously, but it has moonquakes. The moon does have moonquakes. Does the moon haunt you? Nah, man. It's our pet rock. Do we have the capability to capture every side of the moon from Earth over time? We do not. Only about 59% of the moon. We only see about 59% of the moon because of a process called libration, which is basically, it looks like it wobbles in the skies. It orbits around Earth. Got a satellite up there now? We do. We actually have the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter up there. It takes really awesome high-definition photos, and it does a lot of other science stuff. Uses laser to detect the heights of different places on the moon. So, for example, we don't see like on the moon, we don't have an ocean. So, I mean, there's one ocean, right? There's the ocean of storms, which is a lava period, but there's no actual oceans or sea level per se, but we'll use the term sea level when we're talking about the moon. So it's trying to find like what is the sea level of the moon and what's the height of other areas. The moment, can you look at it, please? It's still twilight out for us right now here in Kansas City. Up there now, I got that one already. The moon and Earth were the same size. What we call it a double moon system. It'd be more of like a double planetary system. And we act as a double planetary system because the barycenter, which is what we orbit around. So when we talk about a barycenter, where the two gravities meet up, and that's their orbital point, right? And so when we talk about it here, the moon and the Earth's barycenter is actually outside of the crust of Earth. So we act more like a double planetary system more than a moon and a planet. Can't capture every side of the moon. Would it be fair to say that there's a dark side of the moon? In a visual aspect, you can go that way, but in the correct termness of it, that there's not a dark side of the moon, but there's a area that we don't see, or the far side of the moon. How do you keep following it across the sky, tracking them out? Can only give one like, I appreciate it, John. Don't worry about it, brother. I appreciate just having you here. Yeah, let me make sure, get everything else here. There we go. Hopefully I got most of the questions up there. There's a lot of questions came in at one time. Now I appreciate, by the way, welcome in everyone. I do appreciate having you here. This is the moon live from Kansas City, Missouri. That's an 11-inch telescope that we're looking at. This is the moon, yep. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. As new, the side facing us is dark. When the moon is new, the side facing us is dark. That is true. When we have a new moon, the side that is pointing towards us is in the night phase of the moon. Looking at this, dude, no way, Kenny, that's awesome. That's super awesome. Does the moon rotate? It does. It does rotate. It orbits around Earth. It's synchronization orbit, so it's roughly about 27.3 days when it makes that one rotation. So when we talk about a lunar date, though, that's roughly 29.5 days because of our orbit around the sun. So thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the love and support, so I appreciate that, brother. Shout it out from the rooftop in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How's your night? Good to see you tonight as well. See if I can get my chat up here again. There we go. All right. Yo, what's up, buddy? What's the moon? What's the full moon supposed to bring out the crazy people at night? I think it's a lot about folktale, right? There's a lot of folktale out there for sure. Brock says, thanks for taking the time to read the chat and answer questions. You're very insightful and more helpful than the rabbit hole on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate you. Honestly, Brock, thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for the love and support, for real. Show us the aliens, dude. I've never seen aliens. I would love to. That's one goal of astronomy, is we would like to be able to say, hey, aliens do exist. We want to get there. We just haven't yet. Is it interesting that the sun rotates at almost the same amount of time? Of what? The sun's rotation is really wild. When we talk about it, the average is around 25 days. It's 25 point whatever. But some of the areas rotate much faster than other areas. So the slowest period of the sun's rotation is like somewhere around like 37 days. And some of the really fast areas are like 12 days. Because of it being gas, obviously, it has a different how it actually rotates. And no reason to act crazy. Yeah, that's probably true too. That's probably true. That's probably true. Obviously, the moon itself goes through a lot of folktale and different religions or different. Especially when we go back in like ancient periods, like the moon was seen as something different than what it actually is, right? We look at it and it's like, this is our rock, this is a natural satellite that orbits around us. And a lot of people do look at it and see a lot of different perspective of things. Exciting to see the moon and other planets and such, dude. So there's just you. It can be. It can definitely be. Well, you just keep saying that, man. We're not even talking about anything about Van Allen Belt. If you want to go check out the Van Allen Belt, go definitely Google, do a little research. Definitely not on the context of what we're doing here. Recipe Thea, yeah, yeah. Thea would be an object about the size of Mars that impacted the beautiful planet Earth. And that's how we got our moon. Now, as it peeled up some of the crust, we had a ring system around us, and inside that ring, you'd had a hot iron ball start to form and start to pull in some of the collective of all the remaining dust, rocks, stuff like that, right? and that's how we got our moon. Now it goes a little bit deeper than that. Did we have 2 moons? Did we just have the 1 moon? So it kind of starts to branch out just a bit there. So those are still areas we just don't have a lot of good understanding yet. Yep, the moon's about 1/6 of the gravity, roughly about 1/6 of the gravity, not third, but roughly about 1/6 of the gravity. So if you're 180 pounds here, you'd be about 30 pounds on the moon. Dark spots, ocean. So they're the seas, the bay, and the ocean on the moon. There's 1 ocean on the moon, but mostly what we see right now in our view are going to be the seas and the small bay. And these are solidified lava beds that are on the moon. But ancient astronomers would look at the moon, see these areas, and they thought it was water. So they started naming them the seas, the bays, and the ocean. But now, obviously, we know that it's solidified lava, bosonic lava. What do you call the moon, Thea? No, we call the moon itself moon. The moon or Luna, depends on what language. So I speak English, obviously, so it's the moon, capital M. Over the Earth and not around the sun. That's true. I mean, it kind of does orbit around the sun as it orbits around us. So it orbits around us and we're orbiting around the sun, so it does a little bit of both. Yo, what up, Wyatt? How's it going, man? Don't even understand the scary part rationally. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hopefully we've got everything else up here. I think I got everything above me. Is the moon hot because of the lava? So we're not too sure if there's any more molten lava towards the core or not when we talk about the moon. It may be all solidified at this point. Now there's quite a bit of heat inwards towards the core. Could be somewhere like 1400, 1500 degrees. These are harder things to actually measure though for us. No, we call it the moon. We call it the moon. Luna would be the Latin term for it. Moon, capital M, is the actual true name here in the English form. We call it the moon, capital M. Of course, you can use Luna if we want to say it in the Latin way. You can get to Mon. There's a lot of different names, obviously, for the moon. But in the English form, we call it the moon. Alberio, be cool to see the colorful binary star. Dude, maybe soon we'll be able to. Obviously, we're really zoomed out, so the moon fits in our view for sure. Really well. Oh, we got 2 whites. What's up, Damien? Too many whites coming in the house tonight. Does the image show where we put man on the moon? We could zoom in. Right now we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're able to actually see the 6 landing sites in the view currently. You get and this is kind of hard to do. Let me see if we can kind of zoom in. I'll digitally zoom in a little bit here. So over here you got the Sea of Fecundity and the Sea of Tranquility. Let me zoom in more. Right here, see that little impact? It looks like a boot coming down. And there's a little impact on the Sea of Tranquility. It's that dark mass on the top, and then you got the boot coming down. There's that little impact almost near the center. Just above it and to the left is going to be the Apollo 11 landing site. You come out this way a little bit. Let's see if we can do this properly. You got the Apollo 16 out here. Let's see if I can move us around a little more. Move. You got the Apollo 17 over here in the Sea of Fecundity, Sea of Tranquility area. Then you come way over here, get near the right in here. Let's get the right area first. The Apollo 17 landing site's right there. And then the Apollo 15 landing site would be like right here by the mountains, and then you get to the 12 and 14, you got to go by Copernicus, and then just a little bit off of Copernicus, right about in the center now. It's gonna be 12 and 14 roughly. How much surface detailed resolution are you going to get on Mars with your setup? It's pretty decent. Obviously, it's a really small target. When we talk about Mars, Mars is like a really, really small target for sure. We're going to be getting near the trees, by the way, y'all. And it looks like we got some clouds coming through currently. Let me bring in some more of the light here so we can actually see what we're looking at. There we go. Be able to see a little bit better what we're seeing. Can you guys see the clouds coming through currently? How do they choose the landing sites? So a lot of it's all about being near the equator, easier to communicate. Where the lunar day would begin is also the next areas, and there were areas of of interest, obviously. So when you talk about the place where Apollo 11 landed, you actually had the surveyor land there. Luna actually landed a mission over there as well. And these are also, when we talk about the seas and the bays and that's really smooth, as you can see, where the rest of it's very well impacted. Oh, you're welcome, Brock. 100%. How did you got that one? How's it already dark for you? It's not 100% dark yet. It's getting close. It's Kansas City, Missouri. It's getting there. It's already 7:48 p.m. for us now. Let me actually look at the all-sky camera. Let me take a look out real quick. Yeah, it's starting to run pretty. It's starting to get dark though. It's getting there. We're still in twilight, but it's starting to get dark. What percent of the light is your filter block? I don't have any filters set up. Just adjusting the exposure right now. But when we talk about the moon itself, the moon only reflects about 12% of the light that it receives from the sun. Dark there in Sikeston, Missouri. Yeah, it's getting there really quick. We're still in twilight, but it's getting dark pretty quick. Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. Let me get the rest of it. Hopefully I'm getting the rest up there. A lot of comments went through there. I think I got most of it. It's only 6 p.m. for you. I got you. Yep, we're going to be coming up on 8 p.m. here in a minute. That's probably okay. Go through the moon is trippy. It is, yeah. Seeing the shadows like between us and the clouds between us and the moon is definitely a really cool view. It makes it gorgeous. Now we got no clouds, so like it all of a sudden just got like super bright on us. We get a little bit more brightness in. There we go. Pulled over in our view again. Just how gorgeous that moon, the moon is tonight. Depending on the flag, dude, my equipment ain't that strong. My equipment ain't that powerful. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so more people can join us and you guys can come hang out the next stream too. I appreciate it, Soul. Thank you so much for saying that. So that's interesting. Dan, I appreciate it. And tonight we're going to be doing Saturn. We're going to be hanging out the moon for just a bit longer. Eventually it's going to try to sneak behind some trees. And then we're going to be doing Saturn tonight. Saturn's going to be the target for tonight for sure. Let me see if I can show you guys the all-sky camera right here above the observatory of what we see. And you can, that's still the old one. How come we're not getting an updated one yet? Let me see if we can actually update that. Maybe I got to change out something here. I'm going to go with that. Let's see if it'll give us a new all-sky image. Yeah, there we go. And so you can see the moon. You can see where the telescope is on the very bottom. I know it's really hard to see. Let me pull it up a little bit. So the moon in the all-sky camera above the observatory, and the moon's going to be moving off to the right behind that tree here very quickly for us. So, but this is what it currently looks like tonight. And hopefully these clouds dissipate, so we get some really gorgeous views of Saturn here soon. That's really what we want to get. If anybody ever wants to check out the all-sky camera, it does run 24/7 on skieslive.com. So to be able to see Andromeda Galaxy tonight, we've been able to see it for like 2 months. It's gonna be a better night for Andromeda when you talk about where it's located in the sky. It's kind of what that means. But as far as like using a telescope going for Andromeda, it's not much difference. Luna is Latin term. Yep, it is. The moon is actually a recognized name in English. Yep, 100%. Go said yeah. Absolutely strong to do that. Yeah, oh yeah, when you talk about the moon, so angular resolution, when we talk about the flag on the moon's angular resolution, that's a target again, that's 3 foot by 5 foot. So trying to get the flag on the moon, you're probably going to need somewhere around like a half-mile wide telescope, and then you're going to have to get rid of the atmosphere. But you can definitely check out stuff like the Andean space mission that was able to capture some of the objects. You can look up China's, USSR, Japan, all have photos of different things on the moon that were captured where we landed at. Probably near the sun will, expand and engulf Mercury, Venus, and likely Earth. Yeah, that's true. Whether it actually gets to us or goes past us, that's still pretty tough to answer. See close to our moon, you can see into it flying. One goes in. Nah, you've been watching some funny videos, dude. That ain't real. When the moon's gone, we're gonna see Saturn. Yep, tonight we will. Tonight we'll be going to Saturn for sure. Have you seen any UFOs tonight? I have not. So cool. Thanks for your hard work. I appreciate it. Thanks, Isaac. Thank you so much. Love from India. Welcome in, buddy. How you doing? How's your night? Or I guess it's morning for you. How's your morning? See if you can find 3i Atlas. We cannot see 3i Atlas from the observatory. The position of where it's located compared to where we can get to from the observatory is not possible right now. We're too smart for anything to go identify these days. Yeah, it's so true. Have you ever seen unexplained weird objects? Honestly, no, Chandler. Honestly, I haven't. Once saw a light around the horizon of the moon and wanted to believe something on Earth was going on, but it was just Venus peeking out from behind the moon. So it was occulted by the moon and started coming out. That's super funny. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Whenever you get an occultation of objects like Venus, for example, behind the moon, it is gorgeous when it comes out because of how bright it is as well. Makes it really awesome. Teresa from Kansas. Welcome in, Teresa. How's your night? How's everything going for you? So in the past, like a couple seconds. Yeah, about 1.29 seconds roughly right now. 1.29 seconds, about how long it takes light to travel from the moon at its current distance to here on Earth. Expecting the view in time to see the future, to see 3i. So probably sometime in November. We'll have to wait until it gets behind the sun, goes out behind the sun, and then comes back out again. So it'll be a morning time object as it swings out towards basically in the direction where Jupiter would be for us in the sky. Got a plane flying by too? Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's super awesome. I truly enjoy planes going through the view when we look at something like the moon, but I want a helicopter. I honestly want to capture a helicopter. I won't lie. That's about another intelligent species. They're not here, or nah, not here on Earth. But I definitely think that life's out there somewhere. What are the dark spots on the moon? Those are going to be solidified, ancient solidified lava beds, or what you call bosonic lava. How fast does this travel through our phones? I don't know. However fast our internets are, I guess, and then however quick the YouTube picks it up and pushes it back out. Good evening to you. I'm from. Oh, you're in Chicago. Okay, I got you, Teresa. My bad. Yeah. Good evening to you. How are you doing? How's Chicago tonight? You got clear skies? Or is he on his bicycle? Yeah. Yeah. See, we moved over and down just a hair more. Get a little bit more of the view of the moon here in our view. This telescope's so much that like it's hard to get the full view of the moon through it. It's crazy. Would be neat, dude. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Guys are tough to raise in Missouri. Yeah. Missouri's a lot of like farmland in the northern part, and then you get down south, it's quite a bit different. You get down towards the mountains and different stuff like that. Auckland, hey, welcome in, Neil. How's it going? How's your night? It's getting dark for us. Yeah, it's getting dark. We're definitely in the we're getting to the end of the twilight period. I'm starting to make out some stars above us though, like Vega, for example. I can definitely make it out. Yo, what up, Jerry? How's it going? Be afraid or act violent? I guess it depends. Obviously, it wouldn't be a good scenario if they land on Earth with us. It would not be a good scenario at all, because life as we know it would be completely different with aliens at that point. It'd be all bad. You're from Missouri and the Ozarks? Oh, nice. No way. The Ozarks are beautiful down there. Yeah, if aliens land on Earth with you, you definitely better be scared, because you're probably not going to be able to take them out at that point. The idea that they were able to stay away from gravity for so long and then land on something that has a ton amount of gravity and they still survive would be scary. That'd be tough. That would definitely be tough. Ooh, clouds. Yeah, a little bit of clouds pushing through. Not too bad though. Had a little bit of clouds tonight. Hopefully they push out by 10 o'clock. It's roughly about 8 p.m. Oh, and by the way, the ISS is coming above us right now. Let me see exactly where it is. It should be off to the southwest for us here in Kansas City. So if you look out, if you are in the central area of the United States, look out and then look off towards between the moon and Mars. So basically where the moon is and where the sun's set, you'll probably see the ISS coming through. I'm not able to see it from here in the observatory though. It's behind the ships for us. The best satellite ever? Yeah, for real. Yeah, absolutely. What about if you want to work with, if they want to work with us? Yeah, I'm thinking if they land here, then you're in a real trouble, though. That'd be my guess. Why say it's just a hypothesis? It's not. So it's the giant impact hypothesis, what it is, but it has been moved to a scientific theory, though. It is a scientific theory, but then this is where it breaks down into more hypothesis itself, was how many moons actually form, did one get thrown away, and stuff like that. But it is a scientific theory at this point. Like we're almost on planets, but they're way advanced in humans. So their planets. Let's see. Yeah, dude, you're pretty far out there for real. That's no moon. That's a fully functional battle station. Ain't no moon. That's a battle station. Gotcha. Would you do a moonwalk? I would, if I was on the moon. Obviously, I definitely would. Mothership. No, it's our moon. This is our moon. Beautiful moon. How would Earth change if moon wasn't tidally locked to us? So that's a little different. Just because it's not tidally locked to us, we would spin quite a bit different, obviously. The moon slows us down. We'd be spinning a lot faster. And the same for the moon. The moon used to spin relatively fast in its formation and got slowed down and eventually got tidally locked to us. Now, there's a lot of difference of if it's not tidally locked and it's at still location, then we would still have the effect from its gravity, right? But if you were to say, what if the moon wasn't here? That's a whole different question for sure. That's a whole different question. Bright lights on the moon, civilization. No, the brighter areas you see on the moon are younger impact craters. They actually reflect a lot more light than the areas that's been toned down from radiation. I don't think anything did. Someone just being funny. Someone just being funny for sure. We haven't colonized it yet. Probably will, though. We probably will get there at some point. For me and you are looking at the same thing. I looked at it, the moon, and you're seeing it from our perspective. Ain't that really cool? Ain't that really cool? I know that will be the that of Miami in 6 million years. That's funny. That's super funny. Moon look like a cookie. Yum yum yum. Okay, gotcha. I think it's crazy seeing it. Looking just fuzzy ball light. How's our moon so big for the size of our planet? Because of the type of formation that it has. Different type of formation that rather than how most moons are in the solar system, I should say, that are normally captured. There's still some really big moons out there, but most of those probably were formed by a ring system per se. And some of the moons, really big moons, can also form from some of the gas and dust during the early formation of planets. So there's a couple different things that can happen. To what, from what they're saying, what's that, Dan? I must have missed something there. What if I told you in 1963? What about 1963? Personally, I don't think the moon will be colonized in our lifetime, but I have some optimism. May get to see it. Maybe. What if I told you the moon is plasma? Then I would tell you you're kind of full of it. You wouldn't have any evidence, something like that. Are there bigger moons in our system than ours? Yes, ours comes in number 5. The number 1 largest moon in our solar system is Ganymede, and then you got Titan after that. Tell me that the Earth that hasn't cleared its orbit because the big moon hanging up there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Moon does control our tides, that is true. Ganymede is the largest moon in our solar system, yep. Devin says, wow, beautiful hologram. Yeah, cool story, dude. You got too much trust in your government if you think it's the hologram. Way too much trust in your government. Didn't something crash in the moon recently? I'm trying to think of the context that you're speaking of. There was an impact from a asteroid, but that was back in like 2020. I can't remember, 2023, 2021. A Japanese astronomer was able to capture that. Some of the landers sometimes crash. So an American company, a private American company, was able to land on the moon recently. Telescope, I see a lot of the moon's towers and water and road and bridges. Haven't filmed fire on the moon. There's a giant lab. Alright, got you, dude. Wow. Looking up at the moon, too. It's waxing so bright and beautiful. Yes, it is on its waxing face for sure. Nice view of the moon. Welcome back, bud. How you doing? Forgot everything else above us. Yeah, I think I got everything above us. There we go. Couple check when people say the moon is in a hologram. I know. It's kind of actually comical. When no one has ever showed the American flag, they put it up there. They did. Look up the photos from India, Japan, Russia, and China. You'll be able to check them out. Also look up Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Easy way to do it. Earth. Yeah, beautiful planet Earth. You think it's a hologram? Cool story. Yeah, like honestly, you have way too much trust in your government if you think it's a hologram. You got way too much trust. Look, but not them who lived there. Got you, dude. How big is the moon compared to Earth? About roughly about a third. Roughly about a third. It's about the size of the United States itself. I've seen some shooting stars tonight as well. Oh, no way. Moon controls the tides and even our emotions. Not our emotions, but definitely the tides, but not our emotions. There's nothing that suggests that it actually controls our emotions. Hologram makes you giggle, yeah. Our craters only go so deep. I mean, it's true anywhere, right? Like, you can only impact something so deep. It's true pretty much anywhere. The deepest impact crater on the moon is 7 miles. And then you go down to stuff like the size of sand. So anywhere from the size of sand up to 7 miles. You try to pull back. Get back in our view a little better here. In the middle. There we go. Okay. They collect specimens and proven by the way water on the darkness of the moon. Yeah, we know there's water on the moon. They actually were able to prove that there's a lot of water in the silica, but we knew there was ice water on the moon already. Moon does look stunning tonight. It really does. It looks gorgeous tonight. It's a really beautiful moon. I feel like it's crazy when it's full and see what it's been lit. Yeah, I think a lot of people like to go down that path for sure. But as far as like doing the studies, nothing ever suggests it's actually true. There's things that can occur, for example, like the moonlight itself illuminating more your surrounding at night. That can get people a little bit more active. Obviously, animals treat it the same way, right? But nothing that suggests that the moon itself has any effect to the person. Where this so three eye Atlas is over towards the direction. If you were to look out Mars, it'd be off in that direction. Moon. It is the moon. Looks so perfectly around, incredible. I mean, it's pretty gorgeous. It's definitely a gorgeous view. It's really massive, so it's hard to tell the actual shape of the moon, how it looks like an egg, unless you actually break it down and draw a circle around it, and you'd be like, oh, that's not a circle. Just because of how large it is, it makes it look like a circle, though, for us. Can you show what's that? 3i? No, I can't. It's still really far out there. Not until about November. We'll be able to start looking at 3i in November. Full moons affect the wolf, man. That's true. That is super funny. Oh, man, it has a lot. The sun has a lot more gravitational effect on us than the moon does. Whereas craters made by Earth. No, these are impact craters from mostly asteroids and some comets as well. And also space trash now. Have to go for a little while, but I'll be back. Sounds good, Christina. I'm going to be jumping off here soon. And then we're going to be going to Saturn tonight. Hopefully the clouds push through pretty quick. But we'll be doing Saturn tonight, probably sometime right after 10 p.m. Central Time. Here's the current view right now above the observatory and what we kind of see. So hopefully these clouds push right out for us. Kansas City, Missouri. Moving towards Earth. No, it's going to go behind the sun. It's way off in the, like, put it in perspective, it's not by Mars. It's pretty far out there. But if you're to look out there, it's going to be in the direction of where Mars is in the sky. It's going to go off behind the sun, and then it's going to come out towards the direction of basically Venus, and then you'll see it out towards the Jupiter aspects. But it's really far out there right now. Gonna head in. All right, sounds good, Soul. I'll see you tonight, brother. See you tonight, man. No, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate you, brother. I definitely appreciate you. Has the full moon affect the water on the Earth? Not the full moon, no. The full moon itself has no effect to us except for how much light it illuminates back at us. Family is from Jackson County. Okay, Jackson County. Gotcha. Beautiful area, for sure. Does the full moon affect the water on there? Got that one already. Family is from, got that one already. Man, why am I reading things double right now? Ah, thanks, Steven. I appreciate you, man. And the space says self-mind jogging. It can be. It honestly can be. Then imagine doing lives like this where I'm doing the moon, then you jump into Saturn, and now all of a sudden, like, your conversation all about Saturn. It can be mind jogging even in the aspect of having these conversations. When there's impact, orbital gun matter. Like, what? Why do people say the tides are affected? What's that, Smith? The moon itself and its orbit is what affects the tides itself. So as we rotate, we get 2 tides per day, 2 high tides per day. Then you get like king tides, which means that the moon's getting closer to us, or what's called perigee syzygy. So in perigee syzygy, or sorry, not syzygy, but perigee itself, in perigee orbit, then the moon gets a little bit closer to us, and that's when we get the king tides. Perigee syzygy is whenever we have like a full moon, but it's in its closest approach, so we have what's called a supermoon. Have you ever seen the Northern Lights? I have. Would you agree that over the last decade there are new critters? There definitely is. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have blood moons? Yeah, next one for us here in the United States will be March 13th. We'll be coming up on March 13th. So easy to know that there's water on the moon. If it is so easy to know that there's water on the moon, what are the stars made up of? Why does it take so long to confirm that there's life on Mars? Because one, to confirm life, you actually have to get samples back to be able to study a little bit. The next thing is, what are the stars, and what are the stars made of? We can do like spectroscopy. That's how we can determine different type of elements on targets like that. And we could also start to analyze it from there. So we know that it's a lot of hydrogen, then we know what element comes after hydrogen. We can see how much energy it actually creates by looking at different types of stuff like X-ray and the energies that it emits. And then you can start to break it down. How much energy does it actually have going on? How long does it take for it to be able to come out and stuff like that? How many full moons are in October? This month, 1. It'll be on the 6th. Confirming life is not about finding a, yeah, you definitely want to do a little bit more due diligence when it comes to confirming life, for sure. For Halloween. Nope. This year is going to be we'll be coming into the waxing phase this year for Halloween. Yo, what up, Dom? How's it going, buddy? Welcome back. How's your night? How's your night going, dude? How is your night? We confirmed life on Mars. No, we haven't confirmed life on Mars. There's a very good possibility that life may have been on Mars, and we got to get the samples back, though. Got to be able to study the samples. Be an asteroid crash on the moon with your telescope. You could. It's something that you normally want to look at the side that's not illuminated, because unless it's going to be really, really, really massive on this side, it has to be really bright. But if you're looking at the dark area of the moon, which is on the left side of our screen, and you turn up enough brightness, then you'll see like a little bit dimmer light if it were to occur. So if I watched it became IFO. Identified flying object. That's funny, bro. 100%, dude. Yeah, 100%. It's going to get nothing bad happening. I got you. Glad to have you, buddy. It's Hunter Moon, a full moon. Yep, that's the name of the full moon for this month. For October is the Hunter Moon. October is the Hunter Moon. Saw an eclipse in the path of totality. It's so cool what the sizes line up like that. Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. Where's the flag? Which flag? There's a lot of flags on the moon. So if possible, got that one already. Have you seen a UFO? I have not. I guess it's kind of like the same thing shouted out from the rooftop said, I've seen a UFO, but then it became an IFO pretty soon after seeing it. Oh my goodness. That's too funny, brother. But our gorgeous moon, how amazing is it? Where's the American flag? There's a lot of American flags on the moon. Which one? The Apollo 11 landing site? Is there any validity to the relationship between the moon and the term lunatic as far as the moon affecting human behavior? No, not as far as like what science has been able to discover. We have not been able to discover anything that actually has anything to do with a person. Lunatic itself is a fun term that goes back way back in periods. When Mercury's at moon would look like, Mercury does not have a moon, but if it had one, it would probably look like Mercury. Mercury itself looks like our moon. It looks a lot like our moon. Mercury has a massive core, and most of its crust is gone. It's a really wild planet. Mercury is a super wild planet. Where's Nibiru? No one's been able to discover Nibiru. The odds of finding another planet in our solar system are like really slim at this point. Isn't Marvin the Martian still around on TV for sure? Worked in homes? You have no clue. I was a firefighter EMT for 12 years. I've worked in the field, and yeah, I do have a clue. All of us in science, even John Hopkins, by the way, which does most of your guys' study when it comes to the medical field, has already came out and said we cannot find anything in there. What it ends up being is people put themselves in that mindset that the full moon is a little wild. Does the moon rotate? It does. What's your favorite planet to look at? Jupiter. Honestly, Jupiter. Jupiter is absolutely gorgeous. The Wong family owns half of Mars. Futurama, yep. Paphos will come by. It's not coming, but it will definitely go by. Why was Pluto demoted from being a planet? It does not have enough mass to be able to take out other objects in its orbit. There's something else in its way, which would be Neptune. They found another planet, just no atmosphere and life. Not here in our solar system. What is Greek? Oh yeah, absolutely. Go to John Hopkins though. Look at the study, by the way. There was a lot of people that were studied through John Hopkins, and this is obviously the medical experience and training that you actually received. A lot of that comes from John Hopkins studies, and that'd probably be one of the best things you can look at for sure. But definitely agree to disagree. Lost you for a minute there again. Oh no, silly microphone. Always doing something funny. Is there water or ice on the moon? Yes, both of them. We find water ice on the moon. We also find water inside some of the silica that gets found on the moon. Why do we keep seeing the same side of the moon? Because it's totally locked to us. You like to see Jupiter too? It's amazing. Is there Wi-Fi on the moon? No. Yo, what up, Sunny Len? How's it going? What it's dark out for you? It's getting really dark out. I'm starting to see more stars at this point, so we're definitely getting past twilight here soon. What's happening? Hanging out the moon currently, enjoying the beautiful moon. How come there is water on the moon? That's a good question. We still don't know. It's a really good question whether that could have came from some of the asteroids. Could that have been partially due to its formation? It's a good question. We don't know. The area where we find like ice water, these are near the south pole of the moon. These are really deep impact craters that get about like negative 410 degrees negative 410 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark patch on the moon is going to be solidified lava. It's Bosniak lava. Why are all the craters same depth? They're not. Deepest impact crater on the moon's 7 miles, and the smallest ones are about the size of sand. So there's a little difference in it. But I mean, obviously from our perspective, it kind of looks the same, but they're not. What's the core made up of? Mostly iron. Mostly iron. There's a little bit of like nickel and mercury, but mostly iron. And it's a small core. So the moon has the gravity to pull water on the surface. Well, okay, but so yeah, it does. Here it's small planet-sized asteroid that pronounced. No, here it's small size. I must have missed something there, Cupid. Is it rusting? We do observe a little bit of rust on the moon. Or Hormite. Have you ever watched a TV show called The Clingers on the Moon? I have, actually. At least the posts are readable. And you can answer. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. What's at the moon's core? Mostly iron. Maybe a little bit of nickel and mercury as well, but mostly iron. We see about 96% of the same isotopics out on the moon that we see here on Earth. Since we're creating a similarity, I believe that Mars has a lot of understanding. Underground springs. It's very possible it did. Where there is water, there is life. Even it's not necessarily true. Just because there's water doesn't mean there'll be life. But they kind of like really push it back. They take a lot more than just water, obviously, to form life as we know it. But that gets more into biology, though. Do you think the moon first formed when it was molten? Then the Earth's gravity could have created tides of molten rock on the moon, like waves? No. We would have still been a much younger planet, but we still had a lot of rock going on. We would have been a really hot planet at the point, but it was well after the formation of the young Earth. No, the moon's not hollow. How far is the moon? Tonight it's about 241,000 miles away. Are there caves on the moon? You could say like lava caves. There are lava caves on the moon. Have been on Mars maybe once, but not now. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that we will find that those samples are probably going to be life on the moon. Do you see the U.S. flag? Not with my equipment. How is it that we only see one side tightly locked to us? Why is the moon round, and why are other planets around as well? So a lot of things that form obviously will pull in objects due to gravity from all directions. Now, not everything is round. If we look at like the moon Phobos, for example, it looks like a potato. How big is the moon compared to Earth? About a third. About a third of the size, has about 6 of the gravity. You can see your house from here, nice. Where all the craters same depth? I already answered that. They're not the same size. Molten tides on the moon, not on Earth, before the moon solidified. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, so and same here. Obviously, we were molten a long time ago. That was a little bit of wind hit the telescope, by the way. We were definitely molten at one point. So when we talk about what we see on these dark regions, this is where lava actually seeped up during massive impacts. How's it rusting when there's no oxygen? That's a really good question, actually. So we think some of that rust is coming because the solar wind blows through our atmosphere and pulls a little bit of that oxygen out, and it's hitting part of the moon. One of the astronauts found out he was alerted to moon dust. I must have missed something there. For sure, Terra is 27 times bigger. Terra is 25 times bigger than Luna. Are you talking about Earth and the moon? No, it's about a third of the size when we talk about the diameter. It's roughly about the size of the United States. Can a laser shine? Yeah, unless something blocks it, then yeah, absolutely. Maybe fading out. They are faded. Yeah, they're definitely faded. They get the rest of the comments. Man, that's a lot of comments at one time there. I kind of went in all different directions, so you guys kind of really made my brain jump around tonight. You guys are wild. You think the moon's a spacecraft? That's cool. Is there aliens on the moon? We have not discovered anything that represents life at all when we talk about the moon itself. Haven't seen anything that represents life. They found pyramids on the moon? No, that's not true. Should we go back to the moon or move on? Go back to the moon so we can move on. Atlas just comment, most likely, yeah. The moon is not a light. It reflects sunlight. It reflects only about 12% of the sunlight, by the way. But it's not a light itself. Does the moon have earthquakes? It has moonquakes. Not earthquakes, but it has moonquakes. Why is it resting when the why is it resting? What is the moon resting? Wait, what there? I missed something there. Are we talking about rusting? Rusting or resting? When did the moon's magnetic field shut down? It never did have a magnetic field as far as we know. Pyramids on the moon would be really cool though. Yeah, I do agree. Why haven't we been back to the moon? We have. We've been there 6 different times. Where did all the craters on the moon come from? Mostly impacts from like objects like asteroids and comets and even space trash. Watching the stream while gaming. Oh no way! What's up, brother? I see you, man. Welcome back, bud. What about the hollow moon? The hollow moon's just not real at all. We know that the moon itself is not hollow. There's several different reasons we know the moon's not hollow. Can you see remnants of the Apollo mission? Not with my telescope, because those are going to be really small objects on something really massive and really far away. Is the moon edible? I guess if you want to eat rocks, I guess that's your thing. Why is the moon turning rust color? It's not turning rust color. There's a little bit of rust on the moon, but we don't see it. There's very little rust on the moon. Little moldy. Are all the conspiracies about the moon wrong? I mean, what's the definition of conspiracy? That should be the next question, I guess I would say, is what is the definition of conspiracy? Gaming also while watching. That's awesome, kid. That's super awesome. I'm gonna get ready for bed. All right, have a good night, Dom. Thanks for hanging out, brother. What's your favorite place on the moon? Probably over towards the Sea of, if you look like on the top right, see that dark mass all by itself? That's a Sea of Crisis. I think that area is gorgeous. And then like when it comes to an impact crater, like on the very bottom near where the comments are, that's Tycho impact crater, that really good looking impact crater down there. That's going to be Tycho. It's named after Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer. But it's really stunning. You don't see stars anymore, like when I was younger. Way too much light pollution for real. All right, good night, Dom. Thanks, buddy. Again, thank you so much. Is the moon part of Earth? Yeah, it had been from the impact of Theia. Why is the oldest rock on the moon on the surface? Why is the oldest rock on the moon on the surface? We really don't know where the oldest rock on the moon is. Do we know when putting a perso in on the moon again? When are we going to put a person on the moon again? Probably around, it's somewhere going to be like 2029 is the goal. So 2029, 2030, 2031, somewhere in that area. We'll see men land on the moon again. Your favorite's Apollo 13, Failure at Landing. Yeah, it's a good movie for sure. Apollo 13 is a really good movie, to be honest. Let's see if I can get the rest. Why did moon each other? Whatever. What section of the moon image did the Apollo landing occur? So there's 6 different areas, and we can actually see all 6. Let me see if I can zoom in properly here. We'll try to zoom right about here. Let me move over just a bit. So right about here is Apollo 11 landing site, right about in the center. See that? Oh, moved way too far. So see that little impact crater in the center? So just a bit up and left is going to be 11. Come out here just a bit, see a Serenity, see a Tranquility here. This is 17 area, and then you come out here, get into the mountains where Mount Huygens is, and this range here, this is going to be Apollo 15. Come way over here, get by Copernicus crater. Copernicus crater, by the way, is right here. That's going to be Copernicus crater. Then you go a little bit further over, and then you get the 12 and 14 landing sites out here. Copernicus coming in really beautifully actually tonight. Have a gorgeous area. Look at the difference in the shading here. Just how gorgeous that is. This is the moon right now. Yeah. What's the oldest crater? What is the? We don't know. We don't know the oldest impact crater on the moon. The whole moon's basically an impact crater, though. The youngest large impact crater is roughly right here. This is going to be Tycho. This is about 108 million years old right there. Let's see if we can get a little closer to it. Right there. It's going to be Tycho impact crater. There are mountains on the moon, yeah. A lot of mountains on the moon. Think of a weird human statue of other places. I got you. Why does the moon look so tasty when I'm ill? Oh, that does not sound good at all, man. I wouldn't suggest eating any of it. Let me see if I'm back up here. And we'll zoom over a little bit. Move the telescope just a bit. How wide is that impact crater? Tycho is about 63 miles wide. Roughly 63 miles wide, 2.5 miles deep. This is the moon, yeah. How many craters can we count today? There's well over 100,000. Well over 100,000 large impact craters on the moon. But when you really talk about the moon, it's basically all impacted. Where's the flags? We just went through it. How tall is the tallest mountain? It's over 17,000 feet. And how deep is the deepest crater? About 7 miles deep. Aitken Basin being the deepest impact on the moon is the deepest impact crater. It's about 7 miles deep. The tallest mountain is Mount Huygens. The moon's not hollow. It's not hollow. Remember when I was a little kid, I was convinced the moon was made of cheese. Yeah. Some people buy land on the moon. Nah, absolutely not. Yeah, definitely never buy anything outside of Earth. If you try to buy like a star or something, you're getting scammed. Jason vibes from the view. See his mask. It is October. It is spooky season. It is here. Well, large dark area spots craters. They are. They're actually impact craters, but they, as they impacted, they kind of peeled open the crust and some of the lava flowed up. South Mountain visible, or is it on the dark side? It's visible. It points towards us. Does Earth get as many impacts? We definitely did. Most of these impacts that we see came from the Great Bombardment period. We still have a lot of huge impacts here on Earth, but we have a lot of different things going on here on Earth. Oh, a little bit of wind blew through. But let it calm down. Well, roughly, the moon gets impacted, large impact, roughly about once every 10,000 years. But when we talk about impacts here on Earth, we have this really beautiful atmosphere. So when you go out and watch shooting stars or the meteors, these are going to be water hitting the moon because there's no atmosphere. They're just pelting the moon constantly. But they typically burn up in our atmosphere. Chinese on the dark side of the moon. They're near the south side of the moon, near the south pole. When they say hollow, they don't mean a thin shell. Yeah, absolutely not. Like I get kind of where they're going though, and I know kind of where that leads to. It's not hollow. The ringing like a bell came through seismic waves. You didn't hear it. We've seen it, and we do have an understanding of why that is. We can actually measure things. That's why seismic meters were left on the moon itself, and why we hit the moon to be able to see what makes up the moon, what's underneath its crust, and that's why it's done. But we know that it has an iron core, maybe a little bit of mercury as well, maybe a little bit of nickel, but we know for sure it is an iron core. We know it's relatively small. That wave effect that we see, or what a lot of people like to call the ringing like a bell. Here comes some clouds through our view, by the way. That's because there's not a lot of moisture on the moon to baffle it down. So when you have like a lot of moisture here on Earth, when we have earthquakes, then we have that baffling effect. Things just don't tend to vibrate continuously, where on the moon you just don't have a lot of that moisture, and so moonquakes can last like hours. Why does it light up? It's just a reflection of light from the sun. So you're saying there's no Fermi? I don't know anything about that, man. Didn't Earth do the same thing recently caused by waves? We do. Like we just don't have those long periods of quakes that last hours. Obviously, those are pretty wild. But there's different areas. So like if you're down south in Mexico, there's not a lot of moisture there, and it's very loud when earthquakes occur. And it's the same thing, kind of what we see on the moon. Yeah, it's gonna be really thick clouds coming through right now. Here comes the spooky moon. Try to find anything on the dark side. They're near the south pole of the moon, but again, they're doing a lot of science for sure. What is the backside? The far side looks so different than the front side because this side has a lot less thickness when it comes to the crust. It's very, very least thick. So we see a lot of the volcanic lava. Now the far side itself is pelted like crazy. Thought they said we ring. Yeah, visually though. Visually, we maybe I've seen that a little different, but visually we've seen that. Ringing like a bell is just visual statement. I think people took that too literal. It's not that we heard it ring like a bell, but we see it ring like a bell through seismic waves. Silly clouds. Oh, silly wind. So majestic, it really is. What do you miss? We're hanging out the moon right now. We're hanging out the moon right now. We got some clouds going to be trying to hang out with us. See if we can bring in a little bit more brightness. Watch them clouds go through. The spooky clouds. What's scary is I hit the moon and it says, oh my goodness, dude. You're asking if the moon has no atmosphere? Barely any atmosphere. Yeah, so it has a what's called an exosphere. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that actually meant, the comment. Have we imaged, we were able to image the far side of the moon, not the dark side of the moon, but yeah, absolutely. The far side of the moon was imaged the first time back in the 1950s by USSR. If you look up Luna 3 was the first mission that actually captured or imaged the far side of the moon. Eddie, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, bud. Cool on the top right side, if you look close, yeah. If it did ring, we wouldn't hear it because we need a medium. Yep, absolutely. How many days can you stay on the moon? It just depends. Like, you can stay there as long as you want. You probably won't come back, though. Roughly somewhere about a year later, you would not be able to come back to Earth. So once I other spaceship, not from there. Do what? Yeah, Luna 3 is really awesome. Definitely check it out. You can watch a moon all night. Not literally. So I wonder about moon being hollow because the Earth, same theory. We have toroidal energy with our magnitude must go through the poles. Yeah, I mean, the thing about the moon and the Earth are just two completely different things. Two completely different things. What do you think of the radioactive isotopes they found on Mars? Suggesting nuclear war. Nah, everything has radioactivity on it, by the way. All rocks have radioactivity to them. I didn't think we could actually hear. Yeah, we just see it through seismic waves. Why the humans not return to the moon? We went back 5 times after the first time. And I think these are really funny questions that come up because they try to take it down as conspiracy. We've been back to the moon. We went back 5 times. What's a dark smoke or fog? This is clouds coming over. What's up, D-Town? How's it going? We got a little bit of clouds pushing through right now in our view. that was probably it for the moon. Tonight we're going to be doing Saturn. Let me pull up the all-sky camera real quick and you can see how many clouds are near the moon right now. But tonight we will be getting to Saturn. Hopefully the clouds push out. I was thinking somewhere around 10 p.m. Central Time, though. Somewhere around 10 p.m. Central Time. Do you think the Rai Atlas is a comet? Most likely, yeah. Most likely it will be a comet. Yeah, I can't even pick up the moon at this point. It is really thick clouds. Let me try to take a photo through the telescope. Even see how long it takes. It takes quite a bit of light just to even get it to capture the moon. It's definitely cloudy right there. What's the most explained footage that you've ever caught? Honestly, nothing crazy. The launch of rockets and explode, they hit the dome. What? They don't explode, there's no dome. Obviously, you don't know how rocketry works. What's the, got that one already. Yep, currently 8:28 Central Time. Currently 8:28. If it's available now, it's not. Venus is a morning time object. Comes up right before the sun does. Whew. Alright, y'all. That was it with the moon for now. And again, Saturn tonight. As long as we can get some of these clouds to push out, we should be good to get to Saturn tonight. Be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun. Thanks for coming in, hanging out with us tonight, enjoying the views of the moon. And I shall see you guys in a few hours. Clear skies. Have a good night if you're not able to come back. But hopefully you are. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications for when we go live, and I'll see y'all soon.